Hello and welcome boys and girls. This time I'm playing Eternal Court, 4th map in Age of Wonders 4 campaign. This realm is full of undead monsters, so I definitely go for an Elf King high culture guys, with an Imba Spider Mount perk and Arcane Focus. As I was saying, I'm going for a high culture because of Awakeners and Blast of Light or something, their unique magic ability. To be honest, playing campaign, it doesn't really matter what you pick, so you can try various combinations without being afraid that you might fail. So I went for mana addicts with extremely strong bonuses. You get vampiric hits after the spell will cast, and imperialists, because we'll get a lot of free cities early in this map. Once again, I choose Tome of Healing as a first tome, and the Berserking so we can cast more.
After seizing the Gilder Coil, the Shaddai suddenly disappeared. This concerned most Godia, the members of the Covenant in particular, who were actively opposed to the Shaddai and their schemes. However, none knew how to follow the Shaddai, or what their destination was. The Covenant convened in Magehaven to debate. The Athlan ruler Sundrin proposed to seek out Prince Meandor, her uncle. Meandor was a powerful wizard of death, and the heir of the fallen house in Iok. He was the first Athlan to discover Magehaven, and had guided many banished wizards there, including the Shaddai, saving them from eternal torment in the darkness that lay between the realms. If anyone could track down the Shaddai wizards, it was Meandor. However, for reasons unknown or unfortunate, Meandor had elected to exile himself to Oldweald, the ancient home world of the elves, where he established a realm for himself. Since then, concerning reports had reached Magehaven. The shadow of death had washed over the vibrant forests, its cities haunted by lingering souls and roaming spirits who are unable to finish their journeys to the well of creation. Many elves had since fled the realm, reporting that Meandor was responsible for its fall. He had vowed to restore his beloved lost elven court to its old glory. Dark magic followed him and his apparitions, as he turned the realm itself against anyone who dared enter his waking dream of the past. The Covenant saw no choice but to send a fearless Godir to reclaim this eternal court from the renegade wizard of shadows.
They start on a spot surrounded by various monsters which are easy to defeat. Main feature of this map, we have extra hero limit, so we can own 3 heroes right after we start the map. So I hired 3rd hero turn 2 without any penalties, bought extra 30 gold for maintenance it. Right when we start the map we get a quest, go east and find some elves, so we'll do so. While surveying surroundings, our main heroes, 3 of them, power leveling with a company only of themselves. Our goal is to achieve level 5, which we just did. There are 2 rival city-states to us on this map. It's scripted, you'll meet them sooner or later and they will be very close to your main city. And they both are related to a main quest. So if you meet them, you should just knock them down and include in your empire if you want so. It won't be that hard to knock them down early in the game if you'll have level 5 heroes with good summons, which I'm working on now. I was a bit lucky, the rival city was right in front of my doors, so tier 3 I besieged it with a 2 level 5 heroes, it's important. It had only 20 strength, so it takes me not less than 2 turns to finish siege, so we'll have to accept this and wait patiently. While I was waiting, we've made City of Morn, which is a good city-state to vassalize. In some cases, it will help you to hold some enemies out of your borders. It is not wise, I'd say, to attack only with a hero, so I bring a Sun Priest, who'll heal our guys. We had a minor advantage on an auto-resolving panel, but as you can see, it is easy victory for us. Right after we finished the siege, we're triggering another quest where Ineag the Fallen appears, and he places infestation right in our face, so we have to deal with it. It is a high tier infestation with the Reaper, but if you have 3 level 5 hero or more, you can easily get it. You see, the odds in not our favor, and we only lost a Sun Priest, and we don't actually need him anymore because you can learn Twin Awakening as a support hero skill, so you don't need Priest to awaken your troops. Turn 7 I finally met the Elves of the East, which can be your friends sometimes or can be your enemies. It depends on how the game is going and what perks did you pick. But in most cases, this is a peaceful thief that is not related to a main quest on this map. By the turn 9 I have met Melanith the Lifeless. She gives us a good piece of information and another quest which leads us to victory. So we have to defeat a guy who we already defeated, we have to visit a tomb, and we have to defeat Spellweaver. It appears that this bad Spellweaver girl is messing around with our good boy Prince, and we have to save him so he can join us on our grand campaign quest. And there is no easier task than kill someone in this game. You just go there and you destroy main city or kill a hero itself, and boom, you're done. So, knowing this, I started to act. But at first I decided to finish secondary quest to defeat the spirit of Saridas. It is kinda good quest, we'll get XP for one of our heroes, we'll get a free city which can be useful to accumulate some power for our final crusade, so why not to do this? And as I was saying in the beginning of the video, it is one of 2 cities you can conquer. So it's only plazas, we'll do this quest fast and we'll go back to our main quest. Another good thing that when you're playing high, you have extremely amount of science. Your unique improvement stacks well with the AB from the Tome of the Face, and you can accumulate extreme amount of science and move forward with the tomes and get good units. So I'm stacking those knowledge improvements between 2 of my cities, and this will lead us to glory, I promise you. Turn 19, I'm picking my first tier 2 tome. In order to open seal on a quest tome I mentioned earlier, you must have 7 affinity points in any affinities of your choice. So it's obvious I'm choosing between one of 2 tier 2 tomes of order. I decided to go for Tome of Inquisition because it gives more bonuses for military units. After a 2-turn siege, we defeated the Shadow of Saridas. Once again, auto combat with extremely powerful heroes leads us to no losses. After a brief talk, Sandran got extra XP she was promised by finishing this quest. Now we can move straight forward to a last quest, the defeat of Spellweaver. As on a Crimson Caldera, the biggest issue here is a distance. While moving on a Spellweaver's den, I visited Tomb. There will be no fight, no nothing. You just break the seal with your 7 affinity points, you have some brief talk with a lady of an elvish race, she gives you a reward and you can move on. That is the best quest I ever had. You have to do nothing, just get there and get out of there. Just easy like that. Awesome. After that, I can freely march to a city of Morn. That city-state is allied to us and it's located next to a Spellweaver's lands. So I dragged all my units there. While on the road I cleared some nodes and ruins to get a bit more XP, maybe even to reach level 20. Reaching Morn turn 29, I discovered that Spellweaver units was plundering its territory. So I just cleared them without hesitation and without any problems. The hardest part of this quest is you have to locate underground path to a Spellweaver capital. And when you locate it on that way, you'll have to besiege a couple of cities which take a time. So the siege of 100 slowed us for 2 turns. But of course it won't stop our advance. Even though it is hard difficulty level and enemy brings 16 units against us, we still managed to kill them without any problems. Our faithful allies discovered Spellweaver capital under the sculpted city-state. We reached that pass and entered Spellweaver's underground realm turn 37. After a brief talk, I rushed forward and besieged Spider's Den. City was well fortified, but not enough fortified to hold our forces. I was able to breach 100 city-stand defense with only 4 turns. I summoned as many units as possible, and before even siege ended, we had a counter-offensive, which of course didn't end well for our opponents. I waited for 4 more turns and attacked a nearly empty city. It was a flawless victory, as always. If you want, you can continue playing and deal with a fallen uncle of yours, but there is an option to just end the suffering and win the map. I decided not to and went for achieve victory this turn option. And that is how I achieved victory turn 43 on one of the easiest map of entire campaign. I bet you can do it even faster if you like enough, and keep in mind that power leveling hero is an absolute strategy nowadays. I hardly believe that meta will change someday, but for now, few summons and level 20 heroes is what you need to achieve victory in any map. So I send you positive vibes, much love, and see ya in the next video.
A fearless Gaudier of the Covenant broke Meandor's curse and freed the souls trapped within the Eternal Court. After his recovery in Magehaven, Meandor explained he had uncovered the plans of the Shadrai and their search for the Gildercoil. The Covenant's concerns about the Shadrai were justified, but the Gildercoil was not just a compass. It was a powerful Archon artifact, capable of leading those wielding it to powers even legends dared not mention. The Shadrai sought to release the power locked away by the Archons. They had invited Meandor to join their cause, but after his refusal, the Dark Cabal had ensnared him in the nightmares of his past. Meandor was furious that he had allowed himself to be manipulated. He thus decided to aid the Covenant and used his strong connection to the Astral Sea to locate the Shadrai. But before the other Gaudier could follow, he issued a warning. After spending an age clinging to the past, Meandor concluded that the flow of the Astral Sea could not be compelled or defied. He sensed anticipation within the currents. Forces from the dawn of time would imminently resurface. The Shadrai may have been unscrupulous in their search for this power, but deep down, all Gaudier lust for it. Meandor bitterly declared that a Gaudier has but one choice: follow the pulls of the tide, or seek oblivion, as he did.